Hello, Internet. Today we are going to make cupcakes for Derby time. And the type of cupcakes we are going to make are called, I have to read the name because it's a big long name, chocolate caramel cupcakes with caramel cream cheese frosting and bourbon caramel squares. There is absolutely no bourbon in this, no alcohol. Everything we bought, you could be two to buy. So you don't have to worry about it having alcohol in it. If you do plan on having these at your party, we had to find the Ghirardelli chocolate bourbon squares, but there's a store like 45 minutes away, so we just went there and got lucky and they had them. But here's what we're making. And here is everything you're going to need for the cupcake part of this. I'm hoping that my coffee is still warm enough to melt the butter. If not, I'm going to have to put it in the microwave. But what you are going to need, and I will link all this below, what you're going to need is a 1/4 cup of cocoa, a 10-ounce bag of Ghirardelli caramel chips, which we could not find, so we ended up getting our store brand, and that is the salted caramel chips. So you can make exceptions to things in here. I mean, cocoa powder is Hershey's powder because I've never seen Ghirardelli unsweet cocoa powder. You need 1 cup and 1/8 cup of flour, which I had to look that up. 1/8 cup is 2 tablespoons of flour with your cup, and then you're gonna need baking soda, 1 teaspoon and 1/4, salt, 1/4 teaspoon, 1 large egg, brown sugar, 1/2 cup, firmly packed, white sugar, 1/2 cup. Your milk is 5/8 cup, which that is 10 tablespoons of milk. And then you're going to need strong coffee or espresso. You need 1/3 cup of that. We thought about going to our local coffee shop and getting a espresso to go and making it with that, but I didn't really want to spend the $3 or whatever it is for a cup of coffee that I'm just going to bring home and make cupcakes with. So I just made some coffee and made it extra strong. And then you need a 1/2 cup of unsalted butter, which is a whole stick. So it's going to make 12 cupcakes. It says to regular things that you do when it comes to making cupcakes, you either put your paper in or you spray your pan. I got them all ready to go. Then what you're going to have to do, this is the first time I've ever made these, so you're going to have to bear with me. I'm going to be doing a lot of reading off my phone. Okay, you need your flour, your cocoa, salt, baking soda. Mix this together. And these are going to be like a dark colored cupcake. That looks pretty well mixed. I had to move because I have kids. You like my shirt? This looks pretty well mixed up. Now you whisk in, which I guess a spoon is not a whisk. I gotta find a whisk. Whisk in your egg. Loop goes the egg. So you're gonna mix your egg, your brown sugar, and your white sugar. You're gonna whisk this together. At least that's what it says, so let's hope that it whisks. I need my mixer. Now it says to mix in your milk, coffee, and butter. It's turning into something. Pouring in our warm coffee. Then it says to melt your butter. So we're gonna melt the unsalted butter in the container that I had the coffee in, because I'm all about not making extra dishes. Ooh, this butter is already starting to melt. Smells very coffee. Now we're gonna pour in the butter. And to these instructions, right now you're supposed to be putting your dry ingredients back in the bowl, but I just started reading down the directions. I didn't like read the directions before I started this, so just imagine me adding the dry ingredients to this, what would be wet mixture. But it seems very well mixed. And then it says to add your caramel pieces. Smells like good popcorn. Should we add the whole bag or should we actually measure it out? Because to the instructions, you are supposed to add 10 ounces and I have 12. So should I set aside the 2 ounces or should I just whisk in all of them? Which they all seem like they're sinking to the bottom because I guess it's such a liquidy mixture that it just kind of sinks. These seem like they're going to be so good. They would be delicious for any kind of party, but where we be living, it's derby time, so they're derby party cupcakes. And I'm just going to, add the whole bag. Because I don't have anything else to add these to. I want to try one of these though. Those are good. They might actually be perfect for this. We preheat the oven to 350. Oh, look at that. Ain't that beautiful? Oh, yeah. These are gonna be delicious. And then anybody knows cream cheese frosting. Oh, that's gonna be good too with the caramel drizzle and a Ghirardelli, however you say it, square on top. A bourbon square at that. Those look very well mixed. We have our muffin tins ready to go. Like I said at the beginning, if you don't have the papers, you just spray you some cooking spray in there. Instead of having these, it's whatever your preference is. I think that if you don't have the papers, these little paper things, and whenever you pull them out, it would make it easy to do the drizzle at the end, because then you don't have it running all over the paper. But I guess if you really wanted to get creative, you could cook them in the paper, take them out of the paper at the end, set them on whatever display you're going to display them on, drizzle them in. I don't know the best way to do this. I've seen people do it with a ice cream scoop. We got to make sure all these chips get in there because they are sticking to the edge. Would an ice cream scoop make this easy? Let's see if I can find one. I've never used an ice cream scoop to fill any kind of cupcakes, so there's a first time for everything. Scoot this up here, get you a little closer to the action. This makes 12 cupcakes. I guess this way it would be even too. Like all your cupcakes are going to be like the same size. Because I usually just spoon it in and hope for the best. Really good. And whatever I got left, I'll just like put it evenly through the rest of them. But the ice cream scoop seems to be working pretty well. I've never used a scoop for this kind of, any kind of thing besides scooping ice cream. But it seems like they're all coming out really even. So maybe it'll make it easier to icing these puppies in the end. You may be able to get extra ones out of this because those seem pretty full. And there's still a good bit left in this bowl. I mean, that's a whole lot, and there's still a lot left. So I guess I can make more of these. I do have like extra squares, but we were gonna like eat those. We'll just make extra ones because those seem pretty full. Let's fill some of these ones that don't look so full. And then we'll pop these in the oven. And then before you put your icing on these, you need to let them cool like way down because it is a cream cheese frosting and it is going to melt if you don't let it cool down. Well, if I keep scooping at this, I may not have enough for another one, which is fine. I'm sure that my family will not care. They just want to eat the cupcakes. Very evenly full. Let's scoop this scooper out and then we'll do the rest with a spoon. And then I will stick these in the oven and I will be back afterwards to show you what they look like once they come out the oven. Okay, they are fresh out of the oven. It's so hot that I'm not even going to touch the pan. Here is what they look like. 12 cupcakes. You have to let them cool down. I'm gonna let them cool down probably overnight to make sure they're good and cool. Make sure your toothpick or whatever you're using comes out clear from the middle of your cupcake. And from the way it looks, they've been out the oven for probably about a minute, probably not even that, just long enough for me to pull my lights closer and set everything back up. They're starting to fall a little bit, so that might help with your icing to sit down in it whenever you frost them. I am going to try to pipe them. I am not good at piping and I'm no professional at it. I will let you know that. I do have a piping kit. You do not have to run out and grab a piping kit for this. It's just something I have. And you know my thing. I like to make sure it's something that you have sitting at the house so you don't have to run out and spend like a bunch of money on stuff, because that's just not what I'm into. You could probably just take like a spoon and dip your icing onto it, but you want a good thick layer so you could put your squares on the top, and I will show you in that. If this video is too long, this will be cut into 2, and then I will post them both in the same day, so it's not like, okay, this week we're gonna make cupcakes, next week we're gonna do frosting. No, I have other thoughts on next week's because it is derby time where we live, and I want to keep with the Wednesday's derby time, so be looking forward to next Wednesday's video. So you have to let these cool. It says to let them cool for 10 minutes and then cut them out of the muffin tin and then let them cool to room temperature. And if it's like most things, when it comes to like cakey type things, it takes like 4 hours. And I just don't have the patience for that, so I'm gonna do it tomorrow. That way my cream cheese could sit out for a good bit. I'll have to remember to take that out in the morning, so I'll have it together. So that is what I have for you today in case this becomes 2 videos. Like I always say, show me some love, like, comment, subscribe, become part of the crowd. Check that box below to see all the other places I am on the internet, and I will catch you later.